Hey you, this has been a really difficult one to sit down and record, but I am finally forcing myself to do it as I have had something brewing for a while. I know I haven't dropped an episode in a long time, and I just wanted to finally get this out into the world. So hi. As many of you will know, for the last 6 years, I have mentored health and wellness practitioners with all the essentials of setting up their business. You may well have been a long-time subscriber to the podcast and listened to lots of my practical advice and tips. And this podcast is continuing to be used and supports plenty of business owners with lots of these practical aspects, I know. I've run courses and I've run programs since 2018, beginning with things just like how to start a blog or a mailing list. And I've gradually been growing things from there into my mentoring services and my long-running Just Start Now membership. But in the last couple of years, things have started to change. I was finding I was getting increasingly frustrated at being spread so thin over so many areas of business building. I'm sure you're aware from listening to this podcast how many different areas I've covered. And I was also finding I wasn't always getting people the results and the outcomes that they wanted. Absolutely, some people in my world have found what I am offering really helpful. In the time that I have been mentoring business owners, I've seen websites started, packages created, new clients signed, money brought in, full-time corporate jobs left. I'm not saying that it has not had an impact, but in trying to cover too many aspects of starting a business, I have really been overstretching and confusing people, and I think overwhelming them further. And I was also really leaving myself with a monumental amount to cover and be an expert in, which in an ever-changing online world, not to mention one for me, which right now includes 2 small children, just feels impossible to keep up with. And what I've realized is that the increase of people dishing out practical, strategic business advice, in amongst all of that, there is still a gap. And the solopreneurs that I have been helping, they have had all the tools and all the advice. You guys have all the tools and advice. You listen to these episodes, you join my programs, you've joined other people's programs, you follow Instagram experts, mailing list experts, branding experts, messaging experts. You've seen it all, you've got it all, you've bought it all, but you're just not able to implement it. And it means that you end up paralyzed, overwhelmed, procrastinating, and just becoming a kind of passive bystander rather than an active participant in this world of business. It means you're ending up learning all the theory and watching everybody else do it so brilliantly, but not able to actually make it a reality for yourself. You've got loads of great ideas for how you want to show up and how you want to serve the particular audience you want to help. You want to utilize your knowledge and your skills, but behind all that, there's not that confidence or belief that you're capable of doing it. So that was a big part of why in 2022 I wrote my book, Just Start Now, because I didn't want to cover the practical stuff in that book. I wanted to tackle head on the blocks and the beliefs that I could see holding solopreneurs back from doing all that amazing work, implementing all those amazing strategies and creating sustainable and profitable businesses. And it's why in 2023, I upskilled and became a certified self-belief coach with Sas Petherick through her Self-Belief Coaching Academy. And now comes for the really hard bit to admit, because what has come alongside this shift in my work is a huge dip in my own belief and my own business confidence, which has really reached a bit of a point where it's become impossible to ignore. I have been tapering down my work and stepping away from selling my services in order to have our second child, who arrived early in 2024. And that gave me a bit of a break to start things afresh. I have been feeling for a long time that I was no longer aligned with the offerings that I had been delivering in previous years. And so I knew that 2024 for me, as well as rearing a tiny human, I also needed to birth something else. I needed to birth a whole new suite of offerings for solopreneurs that, like me, can struggle with self-doubt. So over the course of the last year, 2024, I have been repositioning myself. I've hosted the Business Backed by Belief Summit, which I did in June, and I now offer self-belief coaching services. And I also ran my first kind of pilot self-belief group program, which I called Self-Belief Summer Camp. I ran that through July and August, and that was really about helping solopreneurs get up close with their self-doubt and find ways to create courageous plans and take action with a totally new way of thinking. But we reach a point now in November 2024 where my own belief is still at a bit of a low. My bank balance has been drained because I've decided to close down my long-running group program, and I'm dwindling recurring income ultimately. I've also closed my online store with all my practical digital products because it just doesn't feel totally aligned anymore. And that isn't what I want to help you guys with, what to help business owners with. And let's be honest, unless you are actively promoting that self-pay stuff, it does not just jump off the shelves and make you stacks of cash, no matter what all those girl bosses are telling you. So I am at this point with a bit of a depleted bank balance and a sense of effectively starting completely from scratch with no tried and tested products or services, where my self-belief really is at a bit of a rock bottom. Of course, it's not really the truth and the case that I am starting completely from scratch. I actually have so much to build on. I have a wonderful loyal audience, you listening to this. I have bags of experience of running all types of different services, memberships, digital courses, in-person events. I have done it. But right now I do feel really rocked. And the honest truth is that if I can't change my belief and do this inner work on myself, the work that I encourage my clients to do, and if I can't change my income in the next 6 months, I will have to stop doing this. I will have to go back to full-time employment. I don't have the luxury I did when I first started my business of a nice small mortgage and no dependents, where I had the ability to experiment endlessly and have months with no income at all. We invested a couple of years ago in a fixer-upper home. We have a mortgage 3 times the size when I started my first business. I now have 2 children who are under 5 that need taking care of. And let us not even get started on the cost of living crisis. And the thing that I've been thinking is, I know that this is how many of you are feeling too, that you have all the pieces in place, you have all the know-how, the qualifications, the network, the training, the nagging sense that working for yourself is the way that you want things to be, but you just don't have the self-belief to pull it all together, to shift through that paralysis, that perfectionism, my unbelievable ability to procrastinate on all kinds of things and feel very productive when really I am absolutely avoiding the things that make it happen. And we're feeling a bit trapped. We want to reach that place where working for ourselves feels enjoyable and matches with our goals and the lifestyle that we want. I am about to turn 40 in the next year, and I know I do not want to be scraping around and questioning myself and doubting myself every single day going into another decade. And I think increasingly people want results. And that is absolutely the right way things should be. For the last few years, for too many years, there have been terrible coaches and service providers selling courses, programs, masterminds that far underdeliver on the promises and have left people feeling really burned. I don't want to be that. I want to be someone that provides services, courses, products that work, that have an impact, that change you and that you rave about to your business buddies because they actually get you results. And I want that whenever you are questioning or hesitating or doubting or feeling stuck, that you know that coming to me and working on your self-belief is the number one thing that you can do for your business, and that you tell all your friends about it too. So I can't do that if I am doubting myself as much as I am right now. So I've decided I am going to take you on my own self-belief journey. I'm going to become my own client, my own guinea pig. I am going to attempt to live fully in alignment with the practices and the tools that I give myself, that I give my self-belief coaching clients, and apply them to myself. Because I really want to walk the talk. I want to connect with that inner protective part of me, the coaching part of me, and be able to coach myself through this tricky, maybe understatement, transition in my business. And I really and truly hope that I will emerge on the other side with an even stronger business, and so much that I am then going to be able to teach and share with you about building belief in yourself as a business owner. So this journey is going to be personal and raw. There have been so many tears and breakdowns already this year, and I doubt that they are over. I remember them so vividly, all of those tears from when I was a complete rookie business owner, and I fully accept that they are going to be part of this step change in this new business iteration. But I also hope very much that this journey is going to feel inspiring and not just a sob fest. That I can show you that if I use and apply the self-belief tools I have in my kit on myself, that I can change how I think. Which I'm hoping with that change in how I think, it will turn into the impact of getting more of the results, attracting more of those clients that I would love to work with, bringing the money that I want to earn, and building that future that I want for myself. And hey, if it doesn't work, then I'll go back to full-time work, because ultimately someone has got to pay the bills. And if that is what it takes to create stability for my family in this moment right now, at this point in my life, then so be it. So across this journey, I am going to be tracking various different metrics: income, client signups, audience growth, engagement, and I will be fully transparent about the progress I am making and how I am feeling along the way. I'll also be assessing where my self-belief is at and how my self-doubt is showing up and getting in my way. For example, putting off recording this podcast episode, which I have had sat and scripted for over a month. And I'm also going to be sharing what I am finding to be the most powerful ways to stop the self-sabotage and get back to doing that impactful work and making impactful money for myself and for my family. I'm going to be calling this the self-belief business experiment. I'm going to be sharing just for 12 weeks, just to see the progress that I can make. And I would love to have you along for the ride. I'm going to be sharing this as a Substack. It's in written form and also on a private podcast channel. It will be a paid for a business experiment for you to listen and to read along with me and to subscribe to. And each week I will be sharing a bonus article. I'll be sharing my progress, my learnings, my self-belief tool that I will be utilizing and implementing myself. Like I mentioned, I'll be doing a private podcast version of the content as well, so you can listen rather than read if that's your preference. I'll be opening up the conversation in the community in the comments on Substack so we can talk about this and share, and potentially some other benefits as well. I'm still getting my head around the new Substack platform, which is all a bit new to me. I would love your support on this journey. I really look forward to seeing you on the inside. Please do check out the show notes for more details of how you can sign up for the waitlist, or if you are listening to this a few weeks in the future, how you can sign up and subscribe and binge listen through my self-belief business experiment if I have got started already. Thank you so much for listening. I'm going to go and have a little vulnerability hangover moment now after I've finished recording. I would love to hear what you think. Get in touch and I will see you inside the self-belief business experiment.